China will obviously make some critical comments, but I think everyone is pretty pleased to let things go as they are. President Trump had his mission, and that was to talk tough on China and yet not tank the stock market. That these two things go in opposite directions potentially, and both are critical for his reelection. I think he did a pretty good job of threading the needle, mission accomplished, if we look at the markets and what he said. From China's point of view, one needs to understand the context. This year, 2020, is a critical year for China. It's called the year for the moderately prosperous society. And what that is, it's the first step in China's great rejuvenation, as President Xi Jinping has said, the Chinese dream. And this moderately prosperous society.
Oh, we've maybe played the wrong thing there. If we can stop maybe playing that. Is Robert still with us? Can you hear me, Robert?
Yes, I can.
Oh, please continue. Please continue.
Oh, okay. I was saying that the moderately prosperous...
We've got Communist Party music instead.
Okay, well, I guess I am preempted by the pomp and ceremony. But look, it's really important to understand the moderately prosperous society because there are two major pillars to it. Number one is economic development, lifting the standards of living of the Chinese people, which this year is exemplified by the commitment and the accomplishment of eradicating all extreme poverty in China. That's roughly 900 million people, 100 million of the most intractable in the last 8 or 9 years since President Xi has been a senior leader. The second part is national sovereignty, national pride, and this has been deeply affected by Hong Kong. Hong Kong has been a sore in the side of this pillar of national sovereignty and national pride. And so as a result of that, that's why China has moved now on Hong Kong, because of this critical year. But China wants to build Hong Kong, not constrain it. We'll have to see what happens with judicial independence, with media freedoms, but China wants Hong Kong to be a core of what they call the Greater Bay Area, Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, a coordinated economic zone, which they want to become a world center for commerce, science and technology, education, et cetera.
Robert, obviously we all hope that things dissipate in terms of this clash around Hong Kong without any elevation. One wonders, though, what could be next. I guess with Hong Kong, there was a clock ticking down anyway for when China would have full control. I mean, 2047, it's a long way off, but it was at least going to happen one day. Do you fear that China's going to try and do something similar towards Taiwan? And if they did, where could that escalate to?
Hong Kong is very different than Taiwan in terms of the implementation of what will happen. Conceptually, in terms of national sovereignty and national pride, there's a great deal of similarity to it. But Hong Kong is very key now and will be something that everybody is watching. The jury's out, and China, everybody will be looking to see what China will do. The Vice Premier Han Zheng said after the national security law was announced that it will only affect a very limited number of people. We'll have to see. But what China wants to do is to keep calm there and to have Hong Kong be part of this greater economic zone in southern China. That's their big ambition. But they have three red lines in Hong Kong. We shouldn't misunderstand. Number one is any move towards independence or quasi-independence, like universal suffrage. Red line two is if Hong Kong is seen as a base for undermining the political system and the Communist Party. And third is unending chaos, which undermines the economy. So if those three things can be prevented, China, I believe, will allow Hong Kong most of the freedoms that it's had in the past.
Robert Kuhn, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
We appreciate your reaction.